Hello everybody. So I have gone through the process of making a mock-up compound curve panel. This panel is to give me an idea of what it would look like underneath the table. And I felt I needed to go through a process to give me a good visual on what I'd be looking at doing before I make the final decision of doing that. To me, making that final decision is cutting the curve on this long guide rail. Otherwise, I can do it just curved in the long direction. So what I've done in this case to get both curves is I have done it in two halves. So I laid out my template on either end, and see, I cut this curve. I laid out one on here too. I cut this curve, stood it up on end on a bandsaw, tilted the table, and cut this curve. And then what that did is that left this tapered. I then had to join these two halves together and scoop out with a sanding block and my cross grain spoke shaving to get the nice curve flowing this way. Now, how did I join these two boards together securely? When they're both end grain, I put an edge. I glued an edge onto the end grain here to give me good glue surface between the two halves. And the joinery, when glued in, holds the edge securely to the end grain. But also this tenon is 3 inches long, and it gives good pressure, good resistance to keeping both those panels nicely joined together. So I'm confident in that joinery. It'll work exactly for what I need it to. Yeah, if I was to do this on the real panel, overall, pretty good process. I don't really feel like I needed to go through that to do it right the first time. However, this is a great piece to have in my mock-up bin to reference for other pieces at a later time. So it takes a bit of time, but overall worth it. And I think it's going to look good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clamp it in the piece, in place of the bottom panel of the piece, so that I can get a good visual of what the panel will look like in place. So I can see that curve from the front before I actually cut the curve in the long case guides. So if I don't think it looks that great, it does have to be thicker than what I intended it to be. I could go thinner, but even if I go thinner, the thick end is going to be about 1 inch, which I still thought was too thick to begin with. So I'm going to clamp it in place, get an idea of how it looks, and make my decision from there. If I decide it doesn't look good, I'm going to do it in one direction. I have to do that no matter what. At this point, because I've already cut the curves in there, which looks way better for the piece. So I'm happy with that either way. Yeah, so that's my next steps.